Alright, let's start language by reviewing parts of speech. A noun is a word that names a person, place, or thing. A verb is a word that usually shows action. We have action verbs, but we also have non-action verbs. Do you remember what those are? Am.
Is and are, was and were, have, has, had.
Good. Have, has, had. Also, some action verbs need a non-helping verb, so they make a verb phrase together, like has taught or have been. Adjectives are words that describe persons, places, or things. Do you remember the 4 questions we learned about when you're looking for an adjective? You ask yourself, Ksenia?
Whose, what kind, how many, and
how
which
many,
one.
And which one. Very good. Now, pronoun is a word that takes the place of a person, place, or thing. And you've learned of conjunctions, which are and, but, and or. All right, so. Okay. Now, we're going to review adjectives. When you are comparing 2 adjectives together, let's say this bag is big, or this bag is big, but this bag is bigger. You would add ER when you're comparing 2 nouns. And you wouldn't use an adjective with the suffix er to compare which one is bigger or smaller or taller or so on. What's the difference between using and est? When would you use the suffix est? Who remembers? I bet Liana knows. What do you think? Est is when you're comparing 3 nouns or more. If you're going to say 1 bag, 2 bag, and 3 bags, which one is the bigger or biggest? Ksusha?
Biggest.
Good. You're going to say this one is the biggest of the 3. When you're comparing 3 or more nouns, you're going to use the adjective est, the suffix est with an adjective. Okay, let's review last page you guys did. I know some of you were struggling with doubling consonants, knowing when to double a consonant. You were struggling with the Y's. So we're gonna review this real quick. Take a look. This word, this adjective here, ends with a consonant. Before that, there's a vowel that makes a short sound, a. If a word ends with a consonant preceded by a short vowel sound, that's when you double the last consonant. And then you add your suffix, flatter or flattest. Which one would you prefer, Ksenia?
Flat.
Flatter or flattest?
Flatter.
Flatter. There we go. All right. Now, what about sweet? Would you double the last T if this E has a long E sound? Ksenia?
No.
You would not. Sweetest. You would just add your suffix, okay? Now, words that end with a Y, make sure that if they have a consonant before the Y must go home. Look on page 152 if you got that correct. Yummy becomes yum. I goes home, Y goes home, add I-E, yummier. Okay? And then icy, same here. It ends with a Y. What are you going to look for, Ksenia?
Icest.
The C is a consonant. You're going to look to see if there's a consonant before that. And if there is, the Y goes home. And you're going to change it to I-E, I-C-er. Or I-C-est. It doesn't matter. All right. Now, if a word ends with a silent E. Look at this word. Large. Do you pronounce the E? No. It's silent. It is so shy that it will also go home. And then large becomes larger. You just add your ER. Or EST, large est. Okay? You don't double the E at the end. It just goes home and you add ER. Okay? Now, sometimes there are adjectives that are way too long to add more suffixes to it. For example, take a look. If I were to find a really beautiful flower, I would say, this flower is beautiful. But someone gave me another flower. Take a look at this one here. Now, I think this flower is beautifuler, beautifulest. What would I do to the word beautiful to say, to describe what adjective would I use to describe this flower here compared to this yellow one? What do you guys think? Beautifuler? That doesn't quite sound right, does it? I would use the word more. Think about it. This flower is more beautiful than this one. Okay? So that's what we use sometimes when we want to change the adjective describing a noun. We can use the word more. More beautiful. All right, so if we can use more beautiful, what if we're going to compare more than two flowers? Take a look at this one. Look at this beautiful flower with a little top. It is also beautiful, but I still think this one is beautiful more than these. Can I use more this time? Or just like here, we would use when we're comparing two things and use est when we're comparing three or more things. What word would we use instead of more? Susha, what do you think?
Still beautiful?
No. How about the word most? Think about it. Which one is the most beautiful? This one is still the most beautiful. So more beautiful is when you're comparing two things. Most beautiful is when you're comparing three nouns, okay? So let's add this onto here. More or most? Okay, here's the word wonderful. Can you use the suffix er and est when comparing something wonderful? Can you say wonderfuler, wonderfulest? That doesn't sound right. What noun, what word can you add to the adjective to change wonderful when comparing things? Ksenia.
More beautiful.
More beautiful or the most beautiful. And pay attention. More beautiful or more wonderful or most wonderful would be one entire adjective referring to a noun that it's describing. Unusual, most unusual, or more unusual than that. Okay? Let's do some oral exercise. I'm going to say a sentence and you play with me and raise your hand, thumbs up, if the sentence is used correctly. If I'm using and est correctly. If it's wrong, then you give me a thumbs down, okay? That yellow butterfly is larger than the blue one. That one is correct. Larger, you're adding ER to compare the yellow and the blue butterfly. So just two butterflies being compared by the word larger. Of the two girls, Jessie is fastest. Is that one correct? Do you add est when you're comparing two girls? No. Thumbs down. That should have been faster. Of the two girls, Jessie is faster. Joshua is the tallest student in class. Who is Joshua being compared to? All his classmates. So, is est used correctly. Joshua is the tallest in class. Ksenia?
Yes.
Yes, thumbs up. Those cookies are yummy. That one's correct. The peanut butter cookie is yummier than the sugar cookie. Yummier. Peanut butter versus sugar cookie. Two types of cookies being compared. Yummier. The chocolate chip cookies are the yummy cookies of all the cookies. That one sounds wrong. How would you fix that? The chocolate chip cookies are the yummy cookies of all the cookies. Fenya?
The yummiest.
You would use yummiest. Very good. All right. When you want to describe a noun, a few adjectives would completely change when you start comparing nouns. Okay? So, for example, if I wanted to gift someone this book of secrets, you guys remember this from our class. If I wanted to gift this to someone, I could fit it into this present bag. It fits in here. It fits pretty well, doesn't it? Sort of. I could do it if I really didn't have any other bags, right? Is this an okay bag? It's a good bag? Let's write. Good. It's okay, I guess. Okay, well, if it doesn't fit too well, how about we fit it into here? Does it fit? This would probably be a little bit better because it hides it, right? It hides our present at least. So we could say that this is a better bag. Yeah? But how about this one? Let's try. Look at that. Do you think this is the best bag? Yeah. So I'm going to write the word best. Best bag. Okay? So you have the word good, which is an adjective for describing the word bag. And it was a good bag, but we found a better bag. Look at the two words, G-O-O-D and B-E-T-T-E-R. How can the same word be completely different when you start comparing things? Well, that's what I said. Some adjectives completely change when you start comparing. So, a good bag, a better bag, when you're comparing two things, and best bag when you're comparing three or more things. Okay? I want you to remember that. So, Ksenia, let's say it together. Good.
Good.
Better.
Better.
Best.
Best.
Which one of these do you use to compare two things?
Better.
Better. And which one of these do you use when you're comparing three or more things?
Best.
Best. All right. Now, you may take out open up page 155. Don't get confused with page 153 and 154. You're going to start your book report for Secret in the Maple Tree in penmanship. We're not going to use page 153 and 154 right now. You're going to skip over that page and open up page 155. Look at the purple box. You're going to use the word more or most before a long adjective when you're comparing things. Are you going to use more or most when comparing two things? Ksenia?
Most.
It's right there in the purple box. I need you to pay attention. Everybody, more when comparing two nouns and most when comparing three or more nouns. Now, make sure that you don't add more and er. For example, look over here. You're not gonna say more bigger. You're not gonna say, my cookie is more bigger than yours. No, you're gonna say, my cookie is bigger than yours. Don't use most with est together. You gotta pick one. You're gonna use your adjective and either add a suffix or put more before that adjective. Okay? Now, some adjectives change completely when used to compare. So you have the word bad, like it's bad weather. But if it gets worse, you're gonna say, today the weather is worse than it was yesterday. Or the word worst. This is the worst weather I have seen in a whole year when you're comparing all the weathers. Okay? So look at your examples. Read it out loud with me, class. Look at the bottom 3 sentences on the bottom of the purple box. You did a good job today. You did a better job today than you did yesterday. This is the best job you have ever done. Okay, so just to recap, what kind of words are bad, worse, and worst? What part of speech are they? Say it, Tanya.
Adjectives.
They're adjectives. What part of speech is good, better, best?
Adjectives.
They're also adjectives. So you're going to work on page 155. Make sure you are reading the directions carefully before you start on anything. Underline the correct adjective in the parentheses for each comparison. Okay. And then think B, circle the correct adjective in the box. Write a declarative sentence using the adjective smaller. And then once you're done, have your parents take a picture of it and send it to me.